meditate to expand and ground yourself. L, look within, not outside, for your salvation. And S, stop thinking. When we can do this, then we know that we are that I am, that we are of a bigger origin, that we cannot be harmed or endangered, that we are the presence of love. And that is what we vibrate, and that is what we share with the world. I am is the way. We are so blessed with Roderick. Over 2,000 years ago, there was something that was said, and a quote was written down. And this quote was from a master teacher. We call him Jesus. And the quote was this: I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. Now, when I hear this, to me, there like rings some kind of truth in that, but there's something that feels unsettling at the same time. And if you have to describe what it is, I would say that by saying that, the way it's written, the way it's quoted, it sounds very restrictive to me. Like there's only one way something can happen here, and it would tend to leave out all of the sages that we know that come from Hinduism and Buddhism and Sufism and Judaism and all of these other faiths where people, we know that they're highly enlightened, we know that they have a lot to offer. It would tend to eliminate that as a potential way. So it's restrictive. And then the other thing that is a little unsettling to me is it implies that there has to be an intermediary between me and the presence. You know, the no one comes to the Father, the presence, but by me. It sort of implies that we have to go through something else, that we don't have a direct connection with the presence. And this interpretation really has created problems for a lot of the world. It puts us in a place where we feel like, okay, way back then, there was a man who was, he was, part man, part God, part of something else that was God, but where he's supposed to be like us, but he's not really like us, and then we're a little different than that, but, we're not holy, we're more like, sinful, and there's this whole separation thing that happened. When we look at the words themselves, we have come in our society and in much of the world, we've come to believe that there is this separation, that there is indeed something that separates us from the presence, that we are not that. And so if you happen to believe the way it's quoted and that really resonates with you and it gives you comfort, then I want you to keep that sense of comfort. I'm not trying to change anyone, but at the same time, I would also invite us to consider the possibility that perhaps there was a misquote. Perhaps the quote was, I am is the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the presence except through this I am awareness. I am is the way. See, in unity, we believe in this wholeness. We believe that we are divine in origin. We don't believe that there's this separation. We believe that the presence is goodness itself, and therefore we are that. We realize that we may have parts of us that some people might call not good, but that really those just are energies that haven't yet been integrated. But our essence is good. All of it is good. And I would say that we're now at a point in the evolution of humanity where we're being called to embrace this wholeness. to embrace the fact that we are 100% divine, not 99.7%, but 100%. I am whole. I am whole. Roger Teal, and In This Life is Joy, says, you realize ever more deeply that you're at home in a friendly universe that all is well when you hold this belief. The imaginary hole of not enoughness not only fills up, but dissolves. And with this comes the unshakable conviction that you are whole and complete. Unshakable conviction. I think evolution is telling us that that's what we need to have in these days, in these times. We've seen a tremendous amount of change happen, and there's more change coming. But do we each have that unshakable conviction that we are whole, that we are complete? That is really what we're called to know. There's a word that's sort of been traveling around in some spiritual circles lately, and it's disillusionment. When you believe one thing is true and then you come to find out that something else is true. I had this happen several years back with a spiritual teacher. I thought, oh, the greatest thing. And then I found out some other things about this spiritual teacher. It's like, well, maybe not so much. Disillusionment. Or maybe there's somebody that you think is just a terrible person, and then you find out that they're actually generous and kind. It's like, oh, well, I had that wrong. Those things happen. That's disillusionment. The disillusionment that I think we as a society face, it really comes from, the extent to which we might be disillusioned is the extent to which we are attached to the outer world for for saving us from something, to the outer world for telling us, how life really is, to supporting us and what we need to be. And while times of disillusionment can be times of great evolution, I think we don't want to be disillusioned. So what that means is that we have to cut that attachment to looking outside of ourselves, to finding out where we are, who we are, what's going to happen, what are we going to be okay? Because as long as we rely on the outer world to be a certain way for us to be okay, we're never going to be okay. We have to go within. We have to go within. And it's really up big time for humanity right now. That's really a lesson that we're learning with wars and turmoil and people acting in ways we don't see as loving, or we don't see as inclusive. Those things that are going on around us, it really, it's calling us to not rely on what we see, but what's inside of us, to the essence of who we really are. We're greater than this physical form. We weren't just created by our mother and father in the physical. We were divine. We're made by the ethereal. That's our essence. Roger Teal, This Life is Joy, says, you are so much more than a material time-space organism. You are the I am, a being of light, born from, living within, and giving expression to universal love intelligence. A being of light, each of us. When we walk in this awareness, we're no longer subject to all this discouragement and disillusionment that we feel with the outer world. We realize that we ourselves are spiritual change agents who ourselves can cause transformation to occur. We see that the physical being is not all of us. We come from much greater origins than this planet. We come from the stars. They tell us we're made of stardust and even beyond. We are beings of light, beings of energy. And when we know this, then we know the way. I am is the way. And we want to carry this into all of our lives, right? Into everything we do. I am this divine being, and that means that everyone else is a divine being. No less, no more. Everyone, everything, divine. This week, many of us will celebrate Thanksgiving. And a lot of times we think about Thanksgiving as having a table with a huge turkey and all of these delicious side dishes and people sitting around the table and laughing and just loving each other and being so happy to be in each other's presence. And it's a beautiful picture. And if you don't have a place like that, I'll just say on Thanksgiving Day, you can come here, bring a side dish and join with some other people in Friendship Hall. There'll be a little gathering here at noon. But see, sometimes the family gatherings aren't like that, or friendly gatherings aren't like that. Sometimes you have family, perhaps friends that have different beliefs than what you have, that make it difficult. Or maybe they have different habits than what you would prefer to be around. We see a lot of that in recovery, of people going home to places where there are things going on they don't want to participate in. Sometimes that happens. So our call is, can I still know that I am a being of light and that they are also a being of light? Can we know that, even in the circumstances like that? One way we can do this is by following a suggestion of Dr. Sue Morter. She says, if we find the thing hard to love, don't reject it, just be with it. When we reject because we're made of love, and so love is there. When we reject something, it's just part of ourselves that we don't embrace. So we think we're rejecting something outside of ourselves. Like, oh, no. But really, we're just rejecting a part of ourselves. And we want to be wholly integrated within ourselves. We want to accept all of ourselves. And when we do, then we'll see that any outer circumstances is not going to pull us off of that. It's not going to affect us deeply if we can just be present. See, so often the mind wants to run out ahead of us and go here and there. And that's what happened when I fell. My mind was running ahead of the presence. So I fell. We do that a lot. It's a message. Come back inside. Come back within. Come back to yourself. If it seems like more than what you can do to love other people, to be in their presence, to see them as beings of light, I would just remind you that nothing is bigger than you are. Nothing. And if you feel like you're in a circumstance that's just so overwhelming to you, then you just forgot how big you were. You just forgot. So come back home. Remember. Recognize that if I'm feeling that way, I don't need for outer circumstances to change. I need something to shift within my own being. Where can I be more loving to get into this space? The greatest thing we can do for the planet this year when we gather for Thanksgiving is to come together and know that each of us is whole. Each of us is divine. And the family next door is divine. And the people 2 towns over are divine. And in that city over there are divine. Across the world, across the planet, that everyone is divine. And then hold that in love and gratitude. Gratitude just for being here, of course, but for the awareness that we're waking up. That's a lot to be grateful for. I is the way. I brought some tools with me this morning to help us kind of stay centered in that, and I like acronyms, so I do have an acronym for the day. It's MLS. Now, when you want to go find a new place to live, you check the MLS, right? Multiple listing service. Well, this MLS is for us to find a new place in consciousness, perhaps, where we can know the I am that we are. So the M stands for meditate, to expand and ground yourself. It's Unity's 4th principle. Through prayer and meditation, we increase our awareness of our own spiritual being. Unity's 4th principle. And Reverend Michael Beckwith in 40-Day Mind Fast Soul Feast says, don't miss your meditation and prayer time. Don't miss it. I can hear him saying it. Use it to immerse yourself in the qualities of the Spirit. You will then demonstrate that the Spirit has no limitations in its expression as you. The love that you are knows no boundaries. The life that you are knows no boundaries. No boundaries. See, when we meditate, we want to release. We want to release all those thoughts that we have about how life is, how life should be, what things are. And instead, we want to expand. We don't want to fly out of ourselves into another realm. We want to expand the essence that we are. Expand up into the stars, into the sky. Know that you are that expansive. Expand and ground yourself down into the earth so that you can feel the essence of the entire earth as part of you, as part of your spiritual essence, as part of your energy. Expand and ground in your meditation time. Feel it. Feel it so firmly that when you get up off of your cushion or off of your chair, out of your bed, that you walk with that awareness of how expansive you are. That's the M, meditate, to expand and ground. The L stands for look inside, not outside, for your salvation. Roger Teal tells us that as we walk in this awareness of the I am, the world no longer has the power to intimidate and manipulate us. That obstacles and dilemmas become opportunities to listen deeply and to make ourselves available to a vast inner guidance. And so we're always being surprised at what's emerging from us, what's springing forth out of us. We realize we are the conduit for this continuing revolution, this continuing evolution, this advancing and celebration of life itself. That we are that. We are that. And that's where we want to be when we look within and realize that we are the essence of the divine. We have what it takes. There's nothing that we will experience that will be bigger than us. There's nothing that we will experience that we are not equipped to deal with. We've been given everything we need. And if it feels like it's not, once again, we just forgot how big we were. Look within. When we look within and rely on that inner essence of life that we are, then we can be free from having ourselves be so affected by the outer world. Look within, that's the L. Now the S in MLS stands for stop thinking. Just stop it. Stop it. We don't want the mind to be in charge. The mind is limited. The mind only knows what it knows, and it makes up stories about what it thinks it knows, and it's never really right. I mean, it's always got some kind of slant that it puts on things. So we can't let the mind be in charge. We have to let our essential self, our higher self, our self with a capital S, we have to let that self be the one that's in charge, the one that governs our lives, the one that governs where it is that I go today, who it is that I talk to today, what it is that I'm seeing today. Let that one. We have to do this if we're going to get out of this disillusionment that we find ourselves in. We have to do this to prepare for the shift that's coming next. So there is a little practice that literally you can, throughout the day, you can just stop thinking. Give yourselves 5 minutes, 3 minutes, okay, maybe a minute, but give yourself a period of time, several times throughout the day, just to stop thinking. If that's too difficult, if your mind needs something to focus on, then just generate the presence of love within you. Feel that, and then expand it into your belly, expand it up to your brain, and just concentrate on that. Just hold that. But stop thinking. Stop thinking. See, we want to know that everything is okay. And if we listen within to that internal guidance, we'll hear that. It's the mind that says, oh no, it's not okay. But it is okay. It is okay. And we're okay. And we want to feel that when we're walking through our house, when we're driving our car, when we're at work, when we're in community, when we're at the Thanksgiving table, that we're okay. And it is okay. To summarize, the MLS, meditate to expand and ground yourself. L, look within, not outside, for your salvation. And S, stop thinking. When we can do this, then we know that we are that I am, that we are of a bigger origin, that we cannot be harmed or endangered, that we are the presence of love. And that is what we vibrate, and that is what we share with the world. I am is the way.
So, congratulations to our newest board members, Heidi Gudelman and Sameh Nassim, 2 prayer chaplains. Congratulations. We thank you for your willingness to serve this wonderful community. Our annual Friendsgiving meal will be at noon in Friendship Hall, right on Thanksgiving Day. So bring a friend, make a favorite dish to share and enjoy some nourishing food and friendship, of course. Happy Thanksgiving. The office will be closed Thanksgiving Day through Monday, December 2nd. It's giving tree time. The tree is right up there in the foyer and ready to serve. So this year, we support Foster Village, Family Elder Care, the Social Care of Life, and the UCOH Benevolence Fund. So you can check the events page online for more details. On Sunday, December 8th, our annual Holiday Bazaar and Austin Civic Wind Ensemble concert will be combined for a free, fun, festive event for the whole family. You can shop at the bazaar in Friendship Hall before or after service, and then enjoy the family activities, followed by the fabulous free concert by that Austin Civic Wind Ensemble, and that's at 2 p.m. So invite a friend and support the UCOH community. Now, we are so excited to welcome Jessie Powers to our platform on Wednesday, December 11th at 7 p.m. for her Cozy Soul concert. And here's a little message from Jessie.
Hello, Unity Church of the Hills. My name is Jessie Powers, and I'm a New Thought musician. I live in Columbus, Ohio, but I travel all over the country sharing my music at Centers for Spiritual Living and Unity churches. And I'm really excited to let you know that on December 11th, I am coming to visit you. So December 11th at 7 p.m., I'll be holding a concert. Please come out. It is always so much fun for everyone, including me. And we all walk away just feeling better than when we came in. It's uplifting and cozy and full of love and joy and singing and laughter and fun stories and community. So it's going to be a great night, and I can't wait to meet all of you, and I'll see you on December 11th.
From the west unto the east.
Well, she has a beautiful voice. That sounds like a really wonderful concert, so I think I'm going to go. Mary Spangberg, a longtime UCOH board member, is going to celebrate her 90th birthday on December 6th. So her family has asked us to send birthday cards to them that they want to give to Mary on her birthday. And there are birthday cards in the foyer for you to fill out. And let's send Mary some UCOH love. We miss her. So every Sunday, we have prayer chaplains that hold sacred space during the service, and they're available to pray with you in the chapel immediately following the service. Whether you have a gratitude, a prayer request, a question, or would like some information about even becoming a prayer chaplain, you can go to the chapel or look for a friend in a purple sash. And if you are online, you can call Silent Unity to pray with the chaplain, and the number is right there on the screen. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I circulate, and I am grateful.